What is going on YouTube? It is Primitive here, and today I'm bringing you my BT5 updated ShineGreymon deck list. I know you see my profile picture. I love ShineGreymon. It's my favorite card in the game. I've played decks with this type of style in multiple other games, which made me very inclined to play this deck when I first started getting into it, and I'm pretty much going to play this deck every format at some point, but let's get on into this list. So we have 4 Pikmon and 1 Upamon as our eggs. I play 4 Pikmon because it's just the best egg in my opinion. You have so much DP reduction that adding this on top of it will really hit a lot of breakpoints that you don't hit. Because ShineGreymon does do implements of 4k, numbers like 9k and 13k are really annoying, but with Pikmon it just cleans it up perfectly. And I did consider playing 5 Koromon like I do in my Lord Nightmon list, but unlike Lord Nightmon, this deck does need a little bit more draw. It can brick a little more often considering how many Tamers we play, so I wanted to play the Upamon, just get a little bit more draw. I don't really think it matters too much between if you play Upamon or Koromon. The effects aren't going to proc as much as Pikmon will, but in my opinion, I think Upamon goes as the best 5th egg. So getting on into the rookies, we have 4 of the Memory Padamon. This card's just nuts in Shine. You're going to have a bunch of DP reduction. You're going to be deleting stuff all the time, so you're going to get this effect off of many other cards. Only our champions are the only cards that don't have DP reduction from our Digitama all the way up to our level 7s. So we have all kinds of DP reduction. This effect's going to activate all the time. And also when you have TK out and you go to 3 Memory, you can Digivolve Shine, get this effect to activate, and just Digivolve it for 3, and that way you can Shine and still have your turn to attack or whatever you need to do. So this card is super crucial in Shine, and I think it's a must-have 4 of. Next up, we have 3 Starmons. I only play 3 in this list just because we don't go as wide with this list as you would in Lord Nightmon, and so I think 3 is fine. It's consistent enough. I could play 4, but just like we'll see with the 3 Pulsemon, the reason I only play 3 of both these is because I think this keeps the consistency high enough while also allowing me to play the other rookies that I want to play in this deck, like these 4 Padamons for example. So I've played 3 Pulsemon in my Lord Nightmon for a while now. I see no real big difference between 3 and 4 with this as far as consistency. I think 3 is fine, and like I said, you don't go as wide with this deck, so I think 3 Starmons is fine. It's still a really good card that works great with Padamon, but 3 and 3 are the consistencies for me and just allows me to play other cards. Next we have 2 Bushi Agumon. We have a side Lord Nightmon package, so this does help with this, but the main thing is with this deck, there's a lot of times where you're going to have 2 or more Karis out, and with TK, that means you'll start your turn with at least 5 memory, and that's going to be important with a couple cards we'll talk about, including Bushi. With this, once you go to 5, you can just hard play this and rush, or like I said, we do have a small side Lord Nightmon package that you can play this with, and it just gives a little bit more aggression to this deck. You want to get as much little edges of aggression that you can in this deck. Because ShineGreymon does tend to be a more defensive deck, you want to have these little kind of techs, and I just think the Bushi in this deck works really, really well. Then we have 1 Cutemon and 1 Padamon to round off the list. Play 1 Cutemon just because decks like Green and Imperial can give this deck a little bit of issues, so the 1 Cutemon's a nice tech. I would want to play 2, but I wanted to play the 1 promo Padamon better because I do like having recovery in this deck. I don't really like playing yellow decks without at least 1 recovery card, and I didn't want to play the Lucemon because I wanted to keep the consistency of the rookies as high as possible. In previous Shine decks, I've only played 12 rookies, and in this list we have 14, and the reason I did that is because I wanted to prioritize being able to not whiff rookies as well as be able to play stuff off of Lord Nightmon, and so this card fits both, but Lucemon does brick sometimes, and you have to have 10 or less memory to hard play it, or 10 or more cards in trash, sorry, to hard play it for a reasonable cost, so I think Padamon's a little bit better in this list. Then we have 4 Uniman, 4 Pedomon, and 3 Turimon. The reason I play 4 Uni instead of 4 Turi is because I like the blockers in this list. You want as much time as possible to be able to get up to your cards like Shine or Volderarm, and the blockers give you that. The 1 to Digivolve cost, cutting 1 isn't that big of a deal because we already have 7, so you're going to be able to have that effectiveness, but with the 6k blockers, there's a lot of things that it helps with, such as Nidhogg and Shoutmon, and so being able to have this nice defensive backbones in the champions does help because, like I said, the champions are the only level that doesn't have DP reduction, but with being able to play 8 blockers, you do still have that defensive backbone. Then we have 3 red rise and 2 yellow rise. The reason I play like this is because I like the yellow rise when you're playing Kari Kamiya, you don't need the on-play effect, so this helps a lot better when you're digivolving on the field. But also the security, or the inheritable to give security attack +1 is really powerful with Shine and the Lord Nightmon, because you're going to go high in DP, you're probably not going to die in security, so being able to get extra security checks really speeds up the game. And like I said, you want those extra edges of aggression, and this is a really, really good one that just synergizes really well with Shine. And then the Red Rise is obviously really, really amazing, because you can put this in Raising, and then promote and Digiburst and get your TK for free while also getting the effects. And the inheritable of giving -2k when you attack is extremely powerful. So I like this split. I only play 5 because we're only playing 7 Tamers in this list, so you don't really need to play more. This gives you the consistency of seeing it when you need, but also gives you really incredible inheritables even if you don't hit your Tamers. Then we have one SirenMon. The reason we play SirenMon is because, one, it's a 2 to Digivolve, which works really well with the TK, so you can go from a rookie to a champion for 1, and then go into SirenMon for 2, and you'll be at 0 memory, and then you can go on top for Shine. But the other thing, like I said, you're going to be at 5 or more memory a lot with Kari Kamiya in this deck, so being able to have the option to hard play SirenMon and then just go Shine right on top of this is kind of like an emergency button that is really, really effective. And so whenever I play Shine, I always play at least one SirenMon. I would want to play more of this in this list, but there's just not that much room for ultimates, so just one, so that you have that option of both Digivolving for 2 and hard playing for 5. Then we're playing 3 Nightmon. The reason we're playing 3 Nightmon is because we're playing 3 Lord Nightmon. This is our side little package. As much as some people probably don't want to play Lord Nightmon in their Shine deck, it really just is what fuels Shine the best, because you can play this, you can play the Nightmon on top of it, and then you can play a Shine on top of that. We have so much cards that are committed to Shine in this deck that being able to play as many Shines as easily as possible is what's going to make this deck win. So having Lord Nightmon be your offensive aggression and then Shine be your defensive aggression is really good. It's like playing this with Lord Nightmon and normally you put a slash on top of it to -8, but sometimes you put a Shine on there for -12, 16, 20k DP. So you want to play the Lord Nightmon in the Shine because it just, getting level 5 to put your Shine on top of just supplements it so well. So 3 and 3, that's all you need. You don't need any more. And then 4 Shine, our big boss monster, my favorite card. You're playing 4 in this deck for an obvious reason. The deck is committed to Shine, so you want to play as many of these as possible. Being able to play 2, 3 of these in a row back to back, especially with help of Lord Nightmon, is completely devastating, and it just gives you so much board presence and so much board clear that you can really control most situations. And this is a card that where even if you're behind, you can start to get ahead because if your opponent's going to swing into security and you get free Tamers and stuff, and you get like 2 Tamers for free, and then you promote Shine, or promote and then Shine, and you get all that for free. It's so powerful. So you play 4 for consistency, you play 4 because you want to play them back to back to back, and you want this as much as possible. 2 Volder Arms is our level 7. This is pretty basic. I've talked about this in multiple of my other deck lists. When you're playing 7, when you're playing 7 level 6s, you want to play these 2 level 7s, because that's like the nice consistent amount for me. You don't really want 3 because then it gets too bulky, and then you don't want 1 because you don't see it as much, and if it goes into security then you're never going to see it. And this card's very important in many matchups, so pretty standard, just 2 Volder Arm there. And then to top off the deck, we have 4 TK and 3 Kari. Only playing 7 Tamers in this list because in the many games I've played of Shine, all you really need is 3, maybe 4 Tamers. So if you have 4 Tamers, you still have 3 left over. This makes it really consistency. If you're at 3 or 4, your Shines are going to be really powerful, really consistent, and get multiple board clears. And so 7 allows it so you have a nice breakpoint for getting many Tamers on board and having a high consistency of them being in your security, but it also makes it so you can fit other cards in. For example, I played 12 rookies in past Shine decks, as I've mentioned, but I'm playing 14 in this list because I did go from 9 Tamers to 7 Tamers because I wanted to have more rookies for the Lord Nightmon package for more consistency, and also just with a lot of ShineGreymon testing, I don't feel like in this format you really need to have crazy like 6, 7 Shines, Tamer Shines. You just need 4, 3, something around there is going to be really effective, because once you hit 3, it's better than Slash in every way on play, besides this Digivolution cost, which does get supplemented by the Padman. So you only really need 7 in this list. If you want to play more or feel that you need to play more, you can cut some of the rookies. Like I said, I did cut rookies. Whatever you want to cut, that's up to you. But that is the list. I hope you enjoyed. I love ShineGreymon so much, and I hope you do too. But with that being said, I hope you have a great day. Peace out.